Hi, everyone. Welcome to our market update. My name is Vinnie, and we got this guy,
David Wright. Thank you for allowing me onto your show, Vinnie. I'm very honored to be here and a guest.
Well, all right. So every week, if you joined us, your first time joining us, we do this every Monday and Friday at 4 o'clock. We go over the market as a whole, market rates, market data, market everything. And something we've done recently is we started incorporating questions for your chance to win $50.
Ooh, I love
question.
this.
I'm going to bring the question up real fast, take it down. We're going to go over some information and then bring it up later on. All right. What did the most expensive single family home in San Diego County sell for in 2020? Can be off by 100,000. All right.
Ooh.
Hopefully you got that. If not, we're going to have it up later again, so don't worry about that. But David, let's talk about rates. How are rates looking right now?
So for those of you that, live in the real world, which most of us do, you can see that things have been constantly on the move. I'm wondering, are you going to bring up that link we shared, Vinny? Are you able to share that on screen?
Yeah, let me see right here. Right, here
so let's make this a little bit simpler. So if you take a look at this, look down at the movement that we've had now. Your average 30-year fixed is basically at 3.25. It says 3.29 because this is varied all over. Your average 15-year is around 2.75. Your FHA stuff is now at 2.75. And your jumbo, which is a major jump, is at 3.33%. So why do we bring this up? Because if you've been watching the show with me and Vinny for a while, you will have noticed that these rates have substantially jumped up over 60 basis points, which is a massive amount in a very short period of time. And then it leads you to go, are we going to have more of this in the coming future? Well, unfortunately, if you look at the stock market today, we closed at basically all-time highs, which is not good for the mortgage market. The mortgage market actually wants the stock market to do bad. So if you want the clearest indicator to help you out and go, well, how do I know if rates are up or down and what's going on? Look at the stock market. Look at where the Dow closed. Look at where the S&P 500 closed. Look at where the NASDAQ closed. If you look at them and they're all green, that's not good for you in mortgage rates. So we bring this up because me and Vinny, we're always focusing on the monthly payment. Left me hanging again, but thanks. So when we're focusing on that, the big thing that comes into play here is the rates and the market. Do we think we're going to see some more changes and things coming down the road? Yes, it's quite possible. But that's all going to come into play with the economic data that comes out next week. And next week's going to be an action-packed week. And so I would expect, you'll see some days where rates will go down by 1/8%. And other days they'll go up by 1/8%. But what you have to remember when you're shopping for a home is you can't lock in the rate until you have a property under contract. So be careful.
That's something that a lot of people forget about, I think.
I think so too. I mean, a lot of people will call me and go, what's the rate today? And I'm like, it's 2%. And they go, it is? And I go, yeah, it's 2% today. And they go, all right, that's great. If you don't have a property under contract, where the rates are today becomes irrelevant, which is something very important that a lot of people don't realize. And especially lenders advertise this everywhere. And it's like your traditional bait and switch where they go, oh, the rate's 2%. Oh, you don't have a property under contract? Oh, well, now you're under contract. It's actually 3.25. So you got to be really careful of that. This business is all about information.
Well, yeah, if you are talking to multiple lenders, something I tell people all the time is talk to them on the same day, because you could talk to one lender today and one lender in two days from now, 2 weeks from now. They fluctuate, right? So make sure you're talking at the same time. If I got locked in today and I can lock in my rate, what would the rate look like? Things like that. So ask those questions. Also, if you're buying points, selling points, things like that. So things to be aware of. Now, I'm going to take this down. I'm going to bring up the question again right here. What did the most expensive single family home in San Diego County sell for in 2020?
Since we're bringing this up, Vinny, I did get a lot of not good texts last week in regards to answering your question. What we had with gentrification.
We have a question for you.
Let's see, where is this? If mortgage rates are so dependent on the stock market, why do we just have large growth in the stock market indexes with extremely low rates? Well, that's actually an interesting question. So you have large growth in the stock market because money is being pumped in everywhere at an excessive manner, and you're going to continue to see large growth in the stock market. I would not be surprised if you see more growth in the stock market over the coming months while you see interest rates tick up higher. So the growth in the stock market is directly related to cheap money, but the cheap money that keeps getting pumped into the economy works adversely for bonds, and it causes bad relationships with inflation. And inflation is the biggest enemy of mortgage bonds, which are directly linked to mortgage rates, which is why the stock market doing great does not mean that interest rates are going to jump up massively, instantly fast, but it means that they are going to slowly tick up because of inflation and bonds.
Hopefully that answered your question, Jason. All right, now, and I cut you off. You remember what you had to say. Feel free to jump in, David. But so something interesting right here, going over the stats compared to last week, we actually have a little more inventory and less pending properties on the market, so that that separation has dwindled a little bit. Nothing drastic. I mean, we were talking about around 2,000 properties. We're at 2,200 active properties. So a little bit more active properties out there. Pending properties have gone down a little bit. Remember, if you've watched us before, we were talking about this market right now. It's almost like a bubble, right? You have a lot of helium, right? Even though rates trickled up a tad bit, right? That might slow it down a little bit. All right, so maybe, and mind you, this is just very mild. I mean, we might be seeing a tad bit of a slowdown. Nothing drastic. We're still getting, you're still probably going to get crazy amount of offers on the property, but maybe instead of 20 offers, you might get 18 offers, right? So I had a conversation with a client today, and we were talking about that. Maybe we'll see things start slowing down as COVID starts kind of going away. Things start opening up again in the summertime, end of the summer. So be aware that we have a dash more active properties hitting the market and a little bit less pending properties under contract. So it's still a little too early to say what the effects of that are going to be, but just be aware. It might be a little more hope if you're trying to get your offer there and you're not getting accepted. It could be a tad bit better of a hope that you might get that one property accepted. So hopefully that brings you a little bit of a hope. Yes, rates have trickled up a tad bit, yet you might
still amazing though, Vinnie. I mean,
if you look at it, yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up fast. If you look at it relative, I'm gonna bring up this other page right here that we were talking about before. And I know it's going to be hard to kind of see, but if you see this screen right here, right, you can see where we were sitting, right, for 30-year fixed in about 2019 and 2018, close to 5%. We're talking about now, that's a 5 adjustable. We're about 30 right here, about 3%, right? And we were sitting in like the high twos, just a little right here in the high twos, 2.8 in January. Right. So relative at that 3% that we're sitting right now, that's still relatively ridiculously low.
It's ridiculously low. It really is. I mean, we are jaded because of what we just recently went through with the refinance boom. But at the same time, if you think we're going to go back to that will be very bad, because if we go back to the rates we just had a couple months ago, that means the economy is being destroyed and we're having massive problems. So as much as people hope that comes back, you really don't want that to come back, because that means things are really bad.
All right. And one last time, I have been getting some buzzes, so we've already might have had a winner already with this, but I'm going to throw it out one last time before we finish, because we try to keep this under 10 minutes. What did the most expensive single-family home sell for in San Diego County in 2020? Okay.
Wasn't that your house, Vinnie? Wasn't that your house? Wasn't that your house?
Yeah. No, not my house. Not my house. But it could be.
It could be. If you continue working, Vinnie, it could be your house next.
guys. Well, please, if you have any questions, reach out to myself or David. We would love to help you out. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.